love the screenplay. You have so much going on with the woman, marriage falling apart, but you also have this other story with the public face. How did you balance in the structure of the script, kind of balancing those two different worlds?
Yeah, and there's actually two brothers as well in the story, maybe brothers. I really wanted to. It started with like a woman in the forest, in the woods, alone in the woods. That was the original idea and story. And then to me, I love as an audience member when I'm sort of unstable, when I don't know what's going to happen next. To be slightly guessing what's happening story-wise. So to me, it was very important that the story kept turning in interesting ways and not just be predictable without giving away the emotion of the film as well. So for me that was something that I was always trying to play with, but also being careful to protect the main core emotional core of the film.
Now, obviously, the character is so complex, Mia, who played her. What did you see in Mia that said, you know what, she's the one that can play it?
Yeah, I wrote it for Mia, and I've known Mia for many, many years. And the part is also sort of inspired by my mother. And Mia knew my mother died in 1997. So Mia knew, because we're friends since we were teenagers, Mia knew my mom from in Argentina for a few months. And my mother went to listen to her sing. So that connection to me was always really important. That's why I thought it was more that she played her. Also, they sort of they look alike as well. So yeah, that was.
So writing for her and being your friend, did that make it easier for you, knowing that she could do this difficult things I'm writing for her?
Yeah, it's really easy. I always write with someone in mind. It's really hard to write a character with a faceless character. So there's always someone that I always I have in mind, even if it's not that being the actor that that will play it. It just helps to bring a character very lively. The fact that I was sure that it was going to be Mia who played this character, it made everything a lot easier. Because I knew right away that it was going to be just the whole world. We understood. We can talk about it. We discussed things. She's a very, very brave actor. A really, really a total workaholic. She was fine if it worked. She's also something that I really appreciate for her is that she's someone that really cares about the story. More not so much the ego, but the story. So if it worked for the story, she was always game. To play with things. So it was great.
Now the movie hinges on the relationship between Leah and our affair comrade. Yeah. What was the process of developing that relationship? Because you didn't have a lot of time, because you had to establish it quickly.
Right. Yeah. So I wanted to be. There's a sense of ghosting, which is it's like a recent, because of social media and text messages, that has been really devastating for a lot of my female friends, and my friends as well. They said someone they're hot with someone, the person disappears, and I thought film was a really interesting medium to explore this thing, because you can suddenly go away from someone's life. But of course, if they're alone in the mountains and one character is pregnant, that amplifies a lot. So it had to be very fast, but they had to be very intense, and but there was such great performance that I feel like they could sell that.
Okay, so I have a lot of production students that watch my film. Yeah. What was your hardest, most challenging scene logistically to pull off?
Logistically. It's funny because the ones you expect, there's a backstage scene where basically a lot of actors, most of our cast is in it. I was shot in this tiny, real backstage in this really beautiful theater in Poughkeepsie. I was a really small space. Wendoline's also really tall. Lee's very tall. It's a very lot of big people, camera in this tiny room. So that was, I think a 10-page scene. So that scene was very challenging.